Oh, good morning. It's the 5th of July, 2008. I'm just recovering from my huge afternoon water fight with the kids yesterday. I showed you part of it in the video. Let's continue learning some more Hebrew, shall we? It's really quite windy today, so I'm probably not going to make it outside. I'll see, I'm probably going to go fishing a little later today, but in the meantime, let's review what Hebrew we've done. Hebrew, Genesis chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the verses. And then I want to take you through verses 5, 6, and 7, and I want to share a few grammatical ideas in Hebrew. Now I'm going to intersperse grammar in with you, but I'm emphasizing the reading of the Hebrew text so that you can get the feel for it right now. Instead of concentrating for the first 4 to 6 weeks on grammar, I can intersperse that periodically. In the meantime, we can be learning how to read and translate Hebrew. And of course, there are some grammatical aspects of Hebrew that we have to know. I mean, every language has that. And then I have some other really good scholarly studies on how Joseph Smith translated Genesis 1 and 1. I've got Kevin Barney's article on that out of Dialogue that I want to produce a series of videos showing how Joseph Smith used Hebrew. And I have the 1832 and 1834 editions of Sykes's grammar. I have adopted Rashi for our rabbi, and I will always try to use some of his comments and explain how he translates out some things. Okay, so here's Genesis 1 and 1. We'll start here at the very first word. Bereshit bara. I'm going to assume you know the alphabet and the vowels by now. Bereshit bara Elohim et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz. In the beginning, when God began to create the heavens and the earth. And then in verse 2, ve'ha'aretz haita tohu vavohu v'hoshech al pnei tahom. And this is, the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. V'hoshech, hoshech is the darkness, the night, so on and so forth. V'ruach Elohim merach hefet al pnei hamayim. So the Spirit of God hovered over the waters, or fluttered over the waters, is how some commentators have said it. Now let's see if I can get down here to verse 3 here. I'm going to see if I can tilt this down a little more so that put that right at the top of the screen for you. Vayomer Elohim yehi or vayhi or. This is where God says, "Let there be light," and there was light. Vayar Elohim et haor ki tov. So when God first spoke and said, "Let there be light," Vayomer Elohim, this is God said, Yehi or Vayhi or, let there be light, and there was light. So the elements obeyed God's command. Then he saw, Vayar Elohim et haor ki tov. He saw the light, that it was good. Let me get down here to this last part here. Vayavdel Elohim bein haor uvein hahoshek. So, once God says, "Let there be light," and he sees that there is light, and he sees that the light is ki tov, that is very good, then he divides the light, the bein haor uvein hahoshek. He divides the light from the darkness. The rabbis say this shows right here, by God dividing the light from the darkness, that the two were intermixed and intermingling. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? So that's Genesis 1 through 4. So let's go on to verse 5, Genesis 1 through 5. Remember reading from right to left. Vayikra, there's the Vav, the Yod, the Q, the Resh, and the Aleph. Vayikra Elohim laor yom. Velahoshech kara laila. Vayhi erev, vayhi voker, yom echad. So, Vayikra Elohim, and God called to the day, or He called the day to the day, La or Yom. He called the day, He called the light, I should say, day, sorry. Yeah, La or Yom. And the darkness, or the night, He called night. So He separates these, and then He names them. Vayikra Elohim, La or Yom, Vela Hoshek Kara Laila. So now He's naming things. And then, of course, Vayhi Erev, Vayhi Voker, Yom Echad. Then there was evening and there was morning one day. Vayomer Elohim, Yehi Rakia, Betok Hamayim, Vihi Mavdil, Ben Mayim, La Mayim. We have here, God said, let there be a firmament between the waters. Vayomer Elohim. God said, Yehi, let there be a firmament. Rakia. Betok, which is between the waters. Hamayim. Now waters here is, the Hamayim is plural. So there's more than one water. It's kind of an interesting concept, isn't it? Vayomer Elohim Yehi Rakia Betok Hamayim Vihi Mavdil. We've seen this word before. Mavdil is to separate or to divide. So He's already separated and divided the light from the darkness. And now God is saying, Vayomer Yehi Rakia Betok Hamayim Vihi Mavdil. He separates Bain Mayim La Mayim. So He is separating the water between the water. That's interesting how He does that, isn't it? Now let me tilt down here so that I can get this last part for you. Hopefully this is clear in the... Now that was verse 6. Now we're on to Genesis 1 and 7. Vaya'as Elohim. Now that God has spoken, that God has divided, and that God sees, now it uses another word. Vaya'as Elohim. Now God made et harakia. Now God makes the firmament. Vaya'as Elohim et harakia. Vayavdil. Now Vayavdel, we've seen this word again. Here He is again, dividing or separating Bain Hamayim. So here He is separating between the waters. Now, what waters? It goes on to explain. He says, Vaya'as Elohim et harakia, Vayavdel Bain Hamayim, Asher mitachat larakia. He is separating the waters which were beneath the firmament. These are Asher, which was mitachat larakia. So these waters are beneath the firmament, Uvein Hamayim, Asher me'al larakia. So He separates the waters, the Bain Hamayim, Asher mitachat larakia. He separates the waters from beneath the firmament and the waters, Uvein Hamayim, which were above the firmament, the me'al larakia, Vayhi chen, and it was so. So see here again, the record is saying God has spoken, and that's simply the way it is. It happened as God made, said, and saw. You notice this creation account is making through speaking. God speaks and the elements obey. So that's Genesis 1, 5, 6, and 7. Now I want to share just a little bit of grammar with you that will help you understand some other really interesting things about Hebrew.